Hey everyone, it is Pokemon story time. And today's story is, well, the other week I got challenged to a best of 3 by one of my Twitch viewers. So let's go through how it went. So the first challenge was picking the team. And at the end of, a lot of deliberation, I decided to go with my Blackentail Grimmsnarl team. Because basically, most recent team I had made at the point in time, it's a harder team to play. I wanted the challenge. So the first battle, I see that he has Venusaur Sun team with Groudon and Yveltal as restricted. So I decided to start with my Prankster Thundurus and Kartana, because earlier that day I did a showdown battle against a very similar team, and I was expecting to go into a Groudon Venusaur start, and Thundurus Kartana just goes really well into that start. And I had Zygarde Blastoise in the back. But unfortunately I started with Yveltal and Alecki. So that really limits what Thundurus can do, and I don't want Kartana going into these two Pokemon. I'd rather have it going into the possible Venusaur and Groudon. So I decided to Air Impulse for Regieleki to lower its special attack by 2 stages, and to switch Kartana out for Zygarde, because it had a better typing into the Alecki. The battle started off quite slowly. By turn 3, no Pokemon had been knocked out. But they had switched in Gastrodon for Alecki, and the risk of Yawn was so great that I decided to make a risky play, and Dynamax, my Prankster Thundurus, which only has Max Lightning as its Dynamax move. That or Max Guard. So risky play, but I decided that it was worth it to get the electric terrain out to try and take that Yawn pressure a little bit. And, that does work. But unfortunately, Gastrodon knew Ice Beam, and it was bye-bye Zygarde. So I bring Kartana back out, and they switch Gastrodon out for Incineroar, lowering the attack of my Kartana. But in the turn they brought out Incineroar, I also took down Yveltal. So it wasn't the end of the world, it just wasn't the greatest. Obviously, with the options left of Alecki or Gastrodon, they brought Alecki in, and I decided, for better or for worse, that getting my attack stat back up was important, and to switch Kartana out for Blastoise, and whatever happens, happens. Blastoise got knocked out as quickly as it came in. Unfortunately, things are looking quite dire, and it's not good for me. They take out Kartana very quickly, and Thundurus has the possibility of taking out Incineroar and Alecki. With Thunder, it cannot take out Gastrodon, so it was game over for me on that first game. So we did try and start Battle 2 straight away, but William, my opposing trainer, was being called for dinner. It was dinner time in this household, and he had to go eat, understandably. So I hope that you had a good feed. Now, after he was fed, we started Battle 2. I decided, because he went with a start I wasn't expecting the first game, that I will mix my start up. And let's face it, that was a mistake. They started off with Groudon Venusaur. That was the battle to have Thundurus Kartana out from. And unfortunately for me, while Zygarde did a lot of damage into the Venusaur, as quickly as I could actually get it out, he couldn't knock out Venusaur before Venusaur put him to sleep. But I did get Lagging Tail onto the Venu, basically slowing it down and taking out its Chlorophyll ability. In the next couple of turns, I go trick away Groudon's Citrus Berry, and Zygarde wakes up to see that Grimmsnarl is being knocked out. So I bring Blastoise in to make an immediate switch for the Blastoise slot into my Thundurus, hoping that they'll go for a Precipice Blades. And while doing this, I also get to take out their Venusaur. At this point, I've used up all my Dynamax turns, and they haven't used one yet, so I've been able to achieve things with my Dynamax, but scary thing is, they still have 3 turns. They send out Yveltal and Dynamax it basically immediately. In the next few turns, they manage to get Zygarde to have its Power Construct ability activate, as well as Thundurus and Groudon fainting. At this point, I'm left with Blastoise and Zygarde. They're left with an Incineroar and a Yveltal. Things are looking possible on my side, but also possible on their side. But unfortunately for me, the damage into Zygarde had been done, and not too many turns later, they took out Zygarde and Blastoise. So at this point, I basically lost the series, but I didn't want to have lost every game. And like I've just said, even though it was a best of 3 and I've lost, there was still an opportunity to play a third game. So I made the offer of, let's do game 3, you've won the best of 3, but let's do game 3 with different teams, to which William agreed to. And so I decided to go with my very trusty and rewarding Trick Room Whimsicott team. And immediately when I see their team, it's another Whimsicott team. Highly likely, Tailwind. So basically I pick my team so very quickly, it ain't funny. Making sure that I have my Whimsicott as one of the leading 2 Pokemon. And thankfully they opened with their Whim and Alecki, and I immediately locked in the Trick Room when seeing their Whim, hoping that they would go Tailwind. I also switched out my Charizard for my Groudon to save me against that Alecki. At this point, their Whimsicott Tailwinds, and no kidding, I could not have been any happier to see that move. And on top of that, Alecki tries for an Electroweb, making my Whimsicott slow. Doesn't affect Groudon, I don't care at this point. I then get Trick Room out, and I know that I am in a heck of a good position. From here, basically, I see a massive opportunity to deal as much damage as I can, as quickly as I can deal it. In the following turns, I switched the Whimsicott out for Indeedee, and I managed to take out the Alecki as quickly as I possibly could, leaving them to bring in their White Kyurem. And I switched Indeedee out for Whimsicott. The Groudon gets to deal a fair bit of damage into the Pokemon, but gets taken out by a Hellstorm. From here, I decided to bring in Charizard, Gigantamax it, and Wildfire into the Whimsicott before it can actually get another Tailwind off, which goes very well for me. From here, with just a Kyurem and an Indeedee, while I've still got 3 Pokemon left, I go very hard and I take out the remaining Pokemon as quickly as I possibly could, winning the 3rd and final battle for fun. So while I lost the best of 3 here, I still had a lot of fun and found the process something I can learn from if I want to go into any tournaments, as most of the time they are best of 3s. So I really hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and let me know down below whether or not you enjoyed the video or not. It would really help me out, and while I'm not the best at storytelling at the moment, over time I'll obviously get better, and I actually had a lot of fun doing it. So I hope you go watch some of my other content. I have a lot of other contents for Pokemon online battle-wise. Go check those out, and have a good one. See ya.